Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into Foremost Clean Energy's latest annual report, so buckle up because this report has it all: a name change, a spin-off, and enough debt to make your head spin. This report promises a look into Foremost lithium and uranium prospects, specifically focusing on their financial health as of March 31, 2025. Before we start, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where you can chat with other investors and analysts and ask your questions about these companies. So let's start with the basics. This is an annual report or a Form 20F, which means it's a comprehensive overview for the fiscal year, in this case ending March 31, 2025. You can find Foremost Clean Energy under the ticker FMST on the Nasdaq stock market. We also learn interesting name changes from previous years. Foremost used to be called Foremost Lithium Resource and Technology, so it's had some identity crisis perhaps. As of March 31, 2025, they had approximately 10.4 million common shares outstanding. This number tells us how much of a company is available for trading and is also used to calculate per share metrics. There's nothing to report regarding clawbacks or erroneously awarded compensation. The company had a big shift this year. On January 31st, Foremost completed the spin-out of its Winston property into a new entity called Rio Grande Resource Limited. As part of this deal, existing Foremost shareholders receive shares in Rio Grande. They're separating their assets in a way that seems beneficial for shareholders and the market in general. Now let's talk numbers. Total consideration for asset acquisition was $26 million, primarily with shares from Rio Grande. Rio Grande essentially purchased these assets from Foremost. As conditions to completing the arrangement, Rio Grande issued two promissory notes. The first was one to related parties Jason Barnard and Christina Barnard, and the second to Foremost. In the share exchange program, all Foremost shareholders received one new common share of Foremost and two common shares of Rio Grande for each Foremost common share held. Alright, now let's check what they really believe. The forward-looking statement section is always full of hints. In this case, they talk about their goals and strategies and their expectations regarding revenue, expenses, and operations. Foremost is all in on uranium, since they feel it can deliver low-cost, emission-free electricity. This explains their Athabasca region drill program. Their key exploration focus are their uranium rights, including the Murphy Lake South with 6 mineral claims and the Hatchet Lake, comprised of 9 mineral claims. These properties have some history, as stated from reports spanning from the 1960s to 2000s, with good drill results that will have to be verified to today's standards. Foremost has 3 more zones to explore, identified as Blackwing, GR, and Setgay, which share more limited access and remote status. Market-wise, major concerns are about the supply outpacing demand. The Athabasca properties which appear to be most active include Hatchet Lake, which consists 9 separate mineral claims and contains all the traditional exploration requirements such as assay data, geological logging. Foremost need drilling permits to get approved exploration. They must go through a thorough research of regulations, proposed drilling locations, and environmental management strategies. After getting the all-important government permits, Foremost announced the commencement of about 2,000-meter drill at Hatchet Lake property. The goal of this project is high-grade mineralization, while at the same time keeping all exploration methods green, which is something they are very proud of. Their second uranium claim appears to be Murphy Lake, which has lower drilling history, with data collected at points in the same direction overall. Switching gears, their lithium properties, also known as Lithium Lane, consist of 78 mineral claims over 43,000 acres, 17,500 hectares in Manitoba, nearby the Hudson Bay Railway and nearby hydroelectric renewable source. Their key project in all of Elaine Lithium properties is the Zora block, where have put over $13 million. The rest of Lane Lithium, Jean Lake block, Grass River block, Peg North project, Manitoba Mineral Development Fund, provided a total of Dre-Anxivendozo Mineral Development Fund, provided a total of Jenksolvanshu Old Bodrian Sading. Most lithium claims exploration efforts are mainly testing 2 specific target spots, but overall continue exploration to other dikes. Other notable areas for the lithium claim block are Grass River property and Peg North property, which all share all-weather road systems. Now let's switch gears again and move into the risks with owning their shares. Our common shares may have greater risks than large capitalization Karasan They face all sorts of risks, regulations impacting their operating costs, climate change, and intense competition with other mining companies. It may be difficult service, a legal process, enforcing foreign judgments, or bringing actions against us or our management named in the prospectus based on foreign laws. Keep in mind that as an emerging growth company, they get a pass on certain reporting requirements, which could make it harder to assess their performance. Now with financials, here is how their properties are doing and where each of them are. At top of the list is Blackwing, which is in process for scheduling mobily. Most interesting thing is that the lithium exploration is very expensive. The amount of cash and efforts has been on Zoro, Jean, and Grass River. There is little being spent to explore Hatchet Lake and their newest Saskatchewan properties. For Murphy Lake and Grass River, no one has made any official exploration plans. The permitting process is the usual in this market: submit, consult, get it cleared. The other lithium-based properties don't seem to have the historical data. Getting permits for advanced exploration requires consultation with government officials and specific permit requirements for each location. It shows how government regulation has significant implications on business and cost. The report goes the legal language about various risks and how the financial markets fluctuate, but it's the same stuff every report says. Here we can see that the company had a net income loss of about Chavamo 636 million, better than a loss of 444 million the previous year, but not something to brag about. Administrative expenses went up a good bit. Notably, investor relation and promotion nearly rose 600k and consulting fees rose by 39k. Then other gains like finance income going down. However, one interesting bit is this gain on spin-out transaction. I like that they are trying to find all possible value. What I got from reading is that data centers and artificial intelligence, AI, have become significant contributors to this growth. Projections estimate that electricity consumption from these sectors could double by 2026 and are trying to position themselves to do just that. Their exploration and exploration efforts must be maintained. And of course, many risks about how their company may be hard to trade. Also more legal risks and where their company legally exists, and typical risk disclosures about liquidity, currency, and credit. Nothing that has a specific mention to Foremost. And of course, they state that Foremost has strong corporate governance practices in place. This includes a code of conduct as well as having an independent board. Now, assessing Foremost Clean Energy is tricky. On one hand, they're strategically positioning themselves in the uranium and lithium markets, making necessary moves needed to set themselves apart. On the other hand, their operating results are negative. Their success hinges on exploration and the ability to secure additional financing. Based on this report, it's something investors may need to take a close look at and determine whether or not these speculative investments are in line with their goals. Are you willing to take part in the beginning of something that can provide the rare resources that energy grids will need to reach their goals? Alright, that's our breakdown of Foremost Clean Energy's latest report. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description for more in-depth mining discussions.